I guess it's safe to say that Manchester United are having a striker conundrum. Like, we literally are, caught between, rejections and rumors of like high prices, United taxes, and all of these things. So we're in search of a striker. Obviously, last season wasn't anything to write home about. But we're in search of a proper striker for Manchester United. And you hear names being thrown in the hat. First, they started with us being interested in Liam Delap, and then he chose Chelsea. Albeit, while that was going on, we signed Mateusz Cunha. Mateusz Cunha, obviously, is a player that can play across the front three. So there's loads of conversations to be had around that and what he could probably offer to Manchester United. I've done a full player profile on Mateusz Cunha, and you can find it on the channel and just go watch it. You see like every detail from how he evolved to the player he was to what he is right now as a 26-year-old. So, and then we're in for Viktor Gyökeres after the Delap turned down Man United, went to Chelsea and is playing at the Club World Cup right now, albeit didn't start the game that Chelsea had today. Then we went for Viktor Gyökeres, and you know how that has been. It has been a saga, and I feel like the saga is over. He's chosen Arsenal over Man United, but we still hear reports that he's interested in Manchester United. But should he have a conversation with Arsenal? And obviously, we as Manchester United fans are all in agreement that we should dump the Gyökeres deal and move on to other things. So there's like loads of other players thrown in the hat. As of the last 48 to 36 hours, or as of the last 36 to 48 hours, most probably the last 72 hours, we've had names like Hugo Ekitike. And there's all loads of reports around that. Before that, we had the Victor Osimhen situation where it was all about wages. I see a lot of things like, oh, we're going for 192K. He's going for 192K per week, or he's going for 300K per week. This and that. All sorts of rumors you hear like from reputable sources like Ben Jacobs, like David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano talking about the Osimhen deal and him linked with Al Hilal and rejecting Al Hilal. And then as of the last 24 hours, Manchester United have been thrown in the hat again. But then Al Hilal have not given up and they've given him another offer. So there's a whole lot going on, the whole conundrum, the whole, back and forth and all of that. Now, over to Hugo Ekitike. Obviously, Viktor Gyökeres rejected Man United and is going to Arsenal. And then we're hearing, should he have should the conversation between Man United and between Arsenal and Gyökeres break down? Then we have a conversation. But we as Man United fans could all agree, as I said, that we should dump that deal, because any player who cannot come to play for Man United and is looking for a big club and putting Man United as second option, then basically the player doesn't deserve to be a starting number 9 or a starting player. So we have all that and it's all going crazy. We have Inter Milan being interested in Rasmus Højlund, our number 9. We have, things like, it's a rumor, and then, Inter Milan are firmly interested and all that. Then we move over to Hugo Ekitike, and obviously you have other people like Marco Alcaraz. I don't see him as reputable, but he always drops some news. Marco Alcaraz, I think he's an ex-user. He's an ex-user who is a sports journalist who has about 32,000 followers, and he's a Man United freelance journalist covering transfers, team news, and more. Right? He has I think he has 160 posts, so he's pretty new. Joined in 2024, but he's been dropping stuff, and I've been seeing it. It just pops up on my timeline, but I don't really follow it until I see Ben Jacobs or David Ornstein or even Andy Meeting or Fabrizio Romano drop some things. And Fabrizio Romano has been very adamant about the Gyökeres one. The Gyökeres one, for him. He has been adamant about Man United consistently calling and all that. But Marco Alcaraz says, as new news, according to him, in the last couple of hours, that Man United are cautiously assessing Hugo Ekitike, wary of his inexperience and hefty price tag. While discussions are ongoing with Frankfurt and the players' camp, some at the club remain hesitant, prioritizing an out-and-out goal scorer. And when we look at Hugo Ekitike's stats, I mean, he's pretty tall for a 22-year-old young player, just like a certain young player, 22-year-old in our team. I think he's probably about 23 now. Yeah, with regards to his stats compared to other forwards around the world, with touches 80%, with shot attempts 93%, with goals he's got 79%, and with defensive actions 55%, aerial duels won 55%, and chances created 91%. So that's pretty decent. An average rating of over 7.5 all season. Scored 15 goals and 8 assists in Bundesliga last season. Started 31 of them, played 33 matches in total, and all of that. So he's really had some good ratings. He's had some good ratings overall, right, in his rankings and all of that. He scored only 1 penalty goal last season. Yeah. So that is pretty much all about it. Hugo Ekitike seems like a very good player. If you could check his season stats, you see basically the first time I ever heard that name, Hugo Ekitike, was when I watched him at Paris Saint-Germain. He was there on loan in 2022-2023. He played 32 games, 4 goals. Then in 23-24, when they signed him, he played 1 game and he didn't score in that game. And then he was sent on loan to Eintracht Frankfurt, and he played 16 games in that season, 24-25, from February 24 to June 2024. So half the season, he played 16 games and scored 4 goals. And then we have him playing last season 48 games in total, 22 goals. So that is an interesting stat for a player that young with so much experience. A French international who has not played for the French first team yet, but played as at the under-20 and under-21 French youth teams. 3 games and 2 goals in the under-21 and 4 games in total, no goals in the under-20. So, and he won the league with Paris Saint-Germain his first season, and then won the League Cup with Paris Saint-Germain also in that same season. And then he also won the tournament of Maurice Revello, the recent one that Chido Obi played. He won that one at the under-20 level, and this was in 2022. So he's pretty much a good player for a 22-year-old, right? And he's doing really well. I mean, he's doing really well. Can't complain about his style of play and all of that. But it is something that we have to think about, because they slapped 100 million euros price tag on him. As Frankfurt slapped 100 million euros price tag on him. And that is a lot for a young player, of that caliber, right? Because that heaps a whole lot of pressure. It heaps Anthony level pressure on him. Coming to Manchester United, you have someone like Angel Gomez talking about not understanding the real weight of playing for a club like Manchester United, the pressure that comes with it, the impatience of the fans. As he is now, fans are calling him an Isak type player, right? He has that lanky look, right, of Isak, and probably even someone like Marcus Rashford. And if you look at the positions he's played, when I watched him at Paris Saint-Germain, he played on the left side of the attack, right? So if you look at the positions he's played on the left side. He's played as a striker. So he's a Rashford type player as well, right? Driving with the ball, running with the ball, chasing the ball. I don't know about his hold-up play because I can't say I've really, really watched him. But according to Bild, Christopher Vivell, Manchester United's head of recruitment, is pushing for a deal to sign Hugo Ekitike. Vivell has a great relationship with Frankfurt sporting director Markus Krosch, and Frankfurt are open to accepting a deal with installments. That also is okay, but I still have questions. I still like, is 100 million not too much? 100 million euros? Is there no deal that we can reach? I mean, if we're looking to spend 100 million on Hugo Ekitike and he's 22 years old, why don't we strike a deal with Hugo Ekitike and with Frankfurt that will take him maybe in the next 2 seasons, and then probably go for Viktor Osimhen with that money? Most probably less, 70 million euros. I mean, if you know what I mean, just we have to worry about his and we have to worry about his pay or negotiate his pay or something. I don't know if it's going to take less or it's going to take more or whatever. But in truth, we have to be very, very conscious of things like that. Galatasaray and Juventus are interested in Viktor Osimhen, but Man United believe that his wage demands are too high, and they aren't completely ruling out a move, and that is according to Fabrizio Romano. So there's a whole lot. There is a whole lot with the whole striker conundrum. Rasmus Højlund wants to return to Italy. He really likes the Inter option. However, Inter need to reach an agreement with Manchester United, and that's according to Alfredo Pedula. You know, like it's crazy. There's a conundrum. And that's why I shy away from bringing a lot of these news, because I don't want a situation where we're going back and forth and we're talking about this and we're talking about that and all of that. So it's crazy. And we have to think about it from the perspective of how patient do we want to be as Manchester United fans for, a striker and all of that. We're interested in Osimhen, we're interested in Ekitike, we're interested in Gyökeres, of which I know that deal is done. We're not going for Gyökeres again. So we have other options. And then most recently, I saw another one that Vlahović is interested in joining Manchester United. Honestly, lest I forget, Hugo Ekitike is a huge fan of Man United. He said Man United was the club he watched as a kid growing up. So it is what it is. But then Dusan Vlahović, another player that we probably have watched. I have watched him, but I have not seen anything very explosive about him or unique about him joining Man United and all of that, or playing for Man United. Him playing for Juventus, actually watching Juventus this season, last season, I had seen him, play, and he's just an okay striker, Dusan Vlahović, and all of that. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts and feelings about that, because the truth is I don't really know where this is headed with the whole striker situation. I feel like, yeah, we can trust the current ones we have, but how patient do Man United fans want to be with the current strikers that we have? And then I can say, okay, we can go for Jonathan David. But I believe that Manchester United have seen something in Jonathan David that they don't want to, that makes them not want to sign him. And it is said, or it is rumored, that Jonathan David is interested in joining a club that is playing in Champions League, which would mean we will not go for him if he doesn't want to come to Manchester United. So we're stuck in a conundrum, a proper conundrum. Should we go for Thuram? Thuram is in Italy. Obviously, we're interested in him 2 seasons ago, and that's gone now. Or Kolo Muani is on loan from PSG to Juventus or something, right? So it's like a whole back and forth on that one, a whole back and forth with the whole thing about the striker conundrum and all of that. Should we trust? And why? Before I started recording this video, I started thinking about it from the perspective of, what if Gyökeres is our main number 9 behind, in front of Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, with the midfield of either Manuel Gatti or Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes? What if we go with that front 3, find a young backup that is cheap, to go with that to back up? So Gyökeres is the lead 9. Then we have Rasmus, and then we're backed up by Chidobe, and then another striker, or Chidobe is 4th in the tier of strikers. He's already going to be an established first teamer, right? Doing well in the summer and all that, depending on what Ruben Amorim is thinking about. if we have that, Joshua Zirkzee, Brian Mbumo, and Matos Cunha in the starting lineup, that would be an interesting starting lineup to see. Obviously, with Cunha's 15 goals a season and Brian Mbumo's 20 goals a season, that's together in the Premier League 35 goals in that season. And then we have Joshua Zirkzee putting in at least 10 goals this season, the next season. That's a good front three. And then every other person like Ahmad and Bruno and Casemiro or Manuel Ugarte or Mason Mount, all of them all contributing goals at one point, even though we still need strength in the midfield and all of that. Don't you think that that lineup would be a good and viable, credible lineup to help us with the season? But then fans will still question, basically what the team would have to offer. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about this? It's a conundrum, and it's something that we have to now start thinking about multiple times. I don't know. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts and feelings about that. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about the striker conundrum. What do you think Manchester United should do this summer? Should we go for Vlahović? Vlahović could be a good number 9, good hold-up player and all that. An average player, but also good. Does he make us better? Does he, if we look at his stats, let me just quickly check through his stats. So Dusan Vlahović, basically, he's 25 years, so he's still yet to hit his peak. He plays primarily as a striker, but also comes off in the attacking midfield position if needed, especially for the Serbia international. Really tall. Last season, he scored 10 goals and he had 4 assists in 21 starts and played a total of 29 matches. So that's also a good start, especially in Italy. 10 goals and 4 assists all season. Pretty good ratings all game. And then basically, if we're looking at his strengths when it comes to compared to all other strikers, that's where, players like Hugo Ekitike, Viktor Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen are kind of better than him. Touches 37%, chances created 40%, aerial duels won 53%, 15% defensive actions, 62% goals, shots attempts 95%. So Hugo Ekitike, Osimhen, and other players are better than him in that regard. And I watched him play at Fiorentina, but in Fiorentina he played 108 games, he scored 49 goals. That's some good stats. But then came to Italy, to Juventus in 2022. He's played 142 games, he scored 56 goals. That's not bad at all. His previous season where he played for Partizan Belgrade, he played 27 games, he scored 3 goals, right? So it's yeah, we are in a full conundrum, and reading out these stats and thinking about this, I'm already tired of the whole transfer saga and all of that. But I believe that the Manchester United football management team are working tooth and nail to get us a good deal. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Don't want to make this video any longer than it is already. We will still keep bringing you as much updates as we can, but it is what it is. We're in a conundrum for strikers. What do you guys think? Hit the comment section and let me know in the comment section what you think, right? So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. We've been growing together, building a community together. Let's continue to reach the next milestone as we build this community. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.